Well, we wouldn't be here without you and your friends busting down the door. More on that in a moment as we break down this heat. World number 1, Jordy Smith, taking on Cole Houshmand, the two biggest guys on tour. Mitch, what are your thoughts here?
Well, we got two of the biggest guys in the booth right now.
I didn't ask Cole what he weighed, but big boys, powerful boys, so I'm really looking forward to this heat.
Rolling in, first wave, we'll go to the local boy, Goofy Foot, throwing some water off the tail. Houshmand, second turn, off the lip. Nice flow through the whitewater. A lot of speed to throw into the drifting finish. These two guys demand the most liters of volume on tour.
Sean was bringing up right here. Cheeky right there by Jordy, too. Almost affected his line getting into this wave, but really love the combination. And going right first thing in this heat, I think, was actually very smart. Go power v power right here and have this tail slide right up the end, too, Joe. So bit of variation right there towards the tail end, but we talked about throwing spray and timing this maneuver well. We saw it from Houshmand on the backhand opening ride.
Really crispy type backhand surfing, loose and radical, and never seems to force anything, Sean. He reads a wave so well.
Yeah, he's got great flow. You know, I think flow rhythm is a very underrated aspect.
Rolling in, potentially, is Jordy getting started. Cole already has a 6.17. Here goes Smith. Clean rails to start. Setting up a nice big open face hook with the release. Nice drive off the bottom, drills the lip line. World number 1 lays it down with that big front side hook. Greases it again with another great throw variety down the stretch, putting some water to the sky, and just that paced rhythm from Jordy Smith.
Yeah, I
nice
think
polished finishing move, and rides away, Sean.
I think out of everyone on the tour, no one has that sort of effortless drive and acceleration out of the bottom turn. I mean, he's got a surge of speed, power, but Jordy generally, it's just the absolute savage turn. He gets so much acceleration and so much smooth acceleration. The acceleration is sort of so smooth, it's like he's got this sort of burst of speed and power, and also like confident aggression. You know, he's sort of quietly confident. There's nothing hurried. You know, I wrote an article about Jordy when he burst on the scene. I called it man on fire. But today he's relaxed, he's in flow, and I think it really shows both in his surfing and his mental approach. You know, he told me today, I'm going to be riding a board my dad's shape. My board's, what did he say? His board's 19 and an 8.
Really confident. Also Cole going for a big fin throw reverse on the left. Wrapping it into the pocket, throwing some water off the tail. Houshmand looking to grease the finish. Great power slide. Surfing with so much bravado and feeding off the hometown crowd, Mitch.
The one thing I really like here is just that he went for it on the first maneuver. I know it didn't stand up as much, but don't necessarily see Cole take to the air that often, so that's what makes it so sporadic. And you can see right here, he fully lays into the last one. A lot of power in that one, and of course the claim, hanging up the phone. He looks great so far, Joe, and once again, going for the air first thing off of this wave. To me, this is already going to replace the 6.17. He's looked fantastic so far in the first 12 minutes of this one.
When you got the size and the control of Cole, those are like power airs, and the way he's inverted, it was such a brilliant way to start on this lowers left, on this angle. It has such a nice feeling of cornering up at you, so he could belt it with so much finesse as well. What a great heat, responding to the task of dealing with world number 1, Jordy Smith, who's still waiting for his first number to come through. Gosh, love that. Great words from Sean Thompson. You can find his surfer's code and live by your own and take inspiration from his. Look at the speed from world number 1. Giant frontside punt to beat a section. Leaps into that big foam climb hack. Look at the rhythm he's got out to the. Meanwhile, Houshmand behind the peak on the left. Layback, blowtail, and then hops out. Cole's got that angle where he can drop that back shoulder. He's almost giving the pocket a quick jab. Before we break that one down, let's catch up with Ethan Ewing with Rosie Hodge. Good angle of the left here, Mitch.
Yeah, no, and we just talk about the high impact of these maneuvers. Just so much more explosive. Only 2, but I mean, those were 2 excellent waves on the IC replay. And
I really thought Jordy was going to go for the big punt here. You know, he's winding up. I thought right there, because the floater is, I mean, it's a cool maneuver, but I don't think it's rewarded from the judges. It's sort of like a transitional maneuver to get from one section to the other. Whereas if he had done a big straight air there, I think it seems like the judging in this heat has moved more towards the explosive air than the long carving ride. You know, you can see they're definitely rewarding those short radical lefts more than they're rewarding the long smooth rights. So Jordy's really going to have to, I think, come back with some with a bit of his instant development of pro surfing. And to watch what's happening today is just it's like a mind blast.
Big thanks to Sean and his crew for creating the dream that we're living today in pro surfing. Big tail whip, another version of a slide, that one off the Kofi. Wow. Goes another one. Cole Houshmand owning the lowers left, putting his name all over it. That left that gave him so much.
Not only that, to do it under pressure at home, it doesn't really seem like he has a single amount of pressure on him at the moment, Joe. Big tail slide into the lip for the second one. Love the way he was able to control coming out of it. And how's the variety right there with a throw tail reverse at the end too.
Against Morgan Simblick back at Bell's. We'll count this one down. Grabbing this wave is the local boy, celebrating probably one of the favorite heats that he's won so far in front of a crowd like this. He's got his own surfer's code that he lives by. Jordy, still world #1, heading into Brazil, where he's won before, and Cole Houshmand will still have a shot at winning